Okay, good morning, guys. We're going to start updating the PHEV video right now. I just uploaded one last night. And immediately, guys online, the expert guys in a couple of the groups I belong to, were looking at the card that I got on the PHEV Watchdog app, which says what was done to the car and the current state of the battery. And they noticed that after my 4.5-year-old battery was brought in for its reset and smoothing and whatever, that the Mitsubishi tech actually reset the battery, okay? So now the car thinks it's got a new battery, and they said that is terrible, that you cannot do that and drive this car without damaging the batteries at this current time, because what's going to happen is now the car thinks there's more actual battery capacity than there is, because there is degradation to the battery at this point. We know I was down to 70-some%, and so now the car thinks, whoop, we're back to 100. And so what it's going to do is it's going to allow the battery to go and use more of that lower part of the battery, which you should never touch the bottom 30% with lithium batteries, right? The car automatically stops itself from going any lower than 30%. It's smart. It won't let you access it. And then it makes you charge the car back up from 30 back up to 98%. There's a little bit at the top. It never lets them overcharge either. So now they're saying, oh, the car thinks it's got a new battery, so it's going to automatically use that lower portion of the battery, which it shouldn't use, and that could damage my battery, which it's already in a pretty degraded state. But my point is, I'm pretty frustrated with the dealership, and we're going to go back down there this morning, and I'm going to talk to the new service manager. If you guys recall, 2 videos back, the new service manager told me he heard me talking to the woman at the service desk and complaining about that the kid had not been able to do anything to my battery the day I brought the car in that day. I brought it in at 72%, I got it back at 72%. Whatever procedures he tried to do did nothing. Well, the woman was yelling at me saying, you can't come in here saying that, causing problems. I said, look, I didn't raise my voice. I said, I'm not arguing. And I pulled out the Watchdog app and I showed her. 72% when I brought it in, 72% after, and the car was not charged. I said, the kid didn't do anything to my car. Well, the kid heard me arguing. He came out of the back and he said, no, he's right. He said, I don't know what I'm doing. I couldn't get it to work. And I called Mitsubishi's Japan's hotline number, and they never got back to me, so his car never got the updates that it was supposed to get. So the kid actually admitted it, and I'm fine with that. I'm not there to cause this kid grief. However, the dealership should take responsibility for that. Instead, what happened was I brought the car in this week, and the first thing the woman says to me when I walk in is, she says, you may have voided your warranty in your car, because I had an OBD2 dongle in the dash, which sends the data out to my phone via Bluetooth. And I guess she doesn't like me from that last, being proven wrong, because I didn't raise my voice and I wasn't swearing or cursing. I was, as polite as I could be. And I just tried to tell her, no, putting that dongle in there, Japan already knows I used the dongle. I collected some data for Japan. The dealership knows I used the dongle. They helped me, Kyle helped me pick out the one that I should use, told me the one he was using. It's just frustrating to me. So where I'm going with this is, she says, your car would not communicate with our system, whatever that means, because they did get an update done and they got a reset done and whatever. So the car did communicate, and she's basically trying to tell me that this is my fault for having that dongle in there. Well, that dongle's been in this car for 5 years, guys. And my point is, if anybody did anything to mess up the system communication-wise, it would have been the previous kid who said he didn't know what he was doing and couldn't get any updates done to the car, and I got the car back in that same state. He's probably the one who turned some setting off or something that it wouldn't communicate properly. You know what I mean? Because, as we all know, the OBD2 dongle that I have, the Bluetooth thing, I can't write anything. I don't write anything to the computer. It just sends the data out to my phone. That's all it does. Anyway, we're going to go down there. I want to talk to the new service manager, and I'm going to present this information that the experts online have told me. And I'm just going to say, what are we going to do about this? I'm still after a new battery. The car really doesn't have 40 amp hours in it now. It's using part of the battery it shouldn't use. What are we going to do about it? And let's just see what they say. Okay, so I just left Mitsubishi, and I actually had to sit down with the service manager, the new guy, North Bay's. His card doesn't say service manager. field operations manager, but I asked for the service manager, and that's who I got. Now, this is the same guy who told me, 4 months ago, I will order you a new battery, we will get it today, hands down, and he was adamant, okay? So today I asked him about that. I said, well, last time I came in and they told me that you couldn't get me a battery and that more testing had to be done. He apologized and he said, absolutely. He said, I did order you a battery. He said, Mitsubishi Japan canceled it. He said he cannot order a battery, they just canceled the order. So even if his guys determine, hey, there's a problem, and this is the conversation we had, about a 20-minute conversation, I had to kind of set him straight. He's like, I've never had a battery go bad. And this is what I'm telling him. No, this is what's wrong. My battery is not bad. My battery is not any worse than anyone else driving these cars. There is information online. There were over 1,000 of us that submitted our numbers in year 1, 2, 3, 4. And guys graphed it. We are all the same. We are all on that same curve. If you own a 4 to 4.5 year old PHEV right now, you're going to be at 72 to 75% battery, right? That's where you're going to be at. There isn't anything wrong. The battery is not damaged per se. That is just the curve of where these batteries are after daily charging at 4.5 years. And this is what I was trying to get across to him. I don't think my battery is damaged, but I'm finding it very hard to get 35 kilometers out of it at this point unless I baby it. And I said I'm adamant that I want a new battery put in this car. I cannot recommend dealing with that company, on the battery issue alone. The fact that they're charging people hundreds of dollars every year to get their batteries updated, the software reset, when Toyota doesn't do that, Nissan doesn't do that anymore. They got sued because they were doing the same thing. Dodge doesn't do that, right? None of these other companies are doing that. And when I looked at these numbers 2 years ago, Mitsubishi was bringing in over $21 million a year in battery services. Now, I think they have upped their the price to do these things, and there are more cars out there. So how much are they bringing in now? They don't want to get rid of that. That's a revenue stream, right? So maybe a class action lawsuit is what's going to need to happen. If it already hasn't, I'm not sure. I've been out of the loop because my dealer doesn't charge me. I just, simply said, I don't want anything to do with this. Just take care of my car, and that's where we'll go. Now, this guy also tells me that I'm the only freak who yearly brings in my PHEV for battery servicing. I know it states it in the manual, he says, but he says most guys only bring it in every second year. And I know why. Because you're charging them $500 to do a cell smoothing and a reset. Who wants that? Anyway, that's my update for now, guys. I'm in limbo. He tells me that he can't order me a battery. They're going to do more testing. And I know there's nothing wrong with my battery. I'm on par with everybody else. So am I going to get a new battery? Probably not. Is my battery warranty going to be voided? I don't know. I'll keep you posted. Also, I want to note that in my conversation here with both the tech, because I talked to him this morning as well, and I explained the situation about it showing a new battery and that I needed a DBCAM. He's not aware of what a DBCAM is. He had no clue, never heard of it, doesn't know what it does, da-da-da-da-da. So, should I be concerned about that? Let me know in the comments below, guys, if you own a PHEV, if that would concern you. It kind of concerns me because the service manager tells me, oh, he's fully trained. But if this is a procedure you guys are telling me this car needs, and they don't know about it, again, I don't know what to say.